Shalom. This week we are reading Parashat Chayei Sara, beginning in Genesis chapter 23. And in chapter 24, first verse, we find the words, "And Abraham was old. He was advanced in days, and God blessed Abraham with everything." You know, in Hebrew, the words are Avrahams zaken, Abraham was old, ba biyamim. Ba biyamim, so those words are generally translated as advanced in years, very aged, but the literal Hebrew is actually that he came in his days, he was coming in his days. Coming in days. And this actually is very revealing. How do we think about time? How do we think about the days that we spend? When a day is over, where does it go? What happens to it? You know, there is a mystical tradition recorded by the Holy Zohar that our days are like physical entities, and they stay with us. The days, the hours, the way that we spend our time, those are units that can be measured either positively or negatively by the way in which we invested our energy. Did we sanctify that time, or did we kind of desecrate the potential and the possibility, the opportunity that God gave us? And so the Zohar tells us that a man's days are actually kind of sitting around his house, lurking, watching him, staying there. And these days actually become either the advocate for us in the future world when we have to give a reckoning before the Creator of how we spent our time. They become the advocate or, God forbid, the accuser. So that actually the case that is made either on behalf of or against a person is made by he himself, by him alone, because it's his own very days that come to testify as to how he chooses to live his life. So this verse tells us that Abraham was old, and that he was coming, he was arriving in his days. Our sages tell us that the days are like a garment, like a cloak. They're like a wrap in which we wrap ourselves at the end of time when we have to come and give that reckoning, and that the days that are well spent, the days like the days of Abraham that were filled with the sanctification of God's name, the exploration, the study, the excitement of knowing who God is and communicating that to others, those days, they become like the cloak that we bring to the next world. And so the verse tells us that truly Abraham was advanced in years, and that he was coming, he was arriving, he was marching forth in his own days. He was clothed with the wrap of his own righteousness, the virtue of his deeds, the coat that really was formed by every moment, by every hour, by every day of his life that showed that indeed every one of those moments was well spent.